Time for a video that I thought I was not going to be able to do until midway through this year. It is going to be an unboxing comparison of the Milton Bradley Wizards of Morcar and the Wizards of Morcar quest pack from Avalon Hill that just came out. I got it in January of 2026 and I thought it wasn't supposed to arrive until May or June. So let's take our initial look. This is the 1991 copy from Milton Bradley. I don't believe this was ever released in the US. It was overseas only as far as I could find, but has really great artwork on the front. I always have really liked the fact that they used a very stereotypical wizard, but as a bad guy. He just, pointy hat and everything. This is a very interesting looking wizard as well. He looks a little bit more like a jester to me, but that's just a cool piece of fantasy art. Got him crackling a lightning bolt into that tower, about to fry these two losers and their buddies. Oh, what's that? Look above me. Yeah, so great artwork here. And here is the 2026 Avalon Hill version of that artwork. Again, you've got the classic looking wizard, but he looks clearly more evil this time. This guy, I guess, dropped his collar for more bones on the front of his robe. He shaved, somehow looking younger than this one. And the orc wizard is now a sword-wielding female with a lantern of faces. And it looks like the barbarian and the elf are featured on this cover, and in a lot less perilous of a situation. Oh, you're frying the bridge. Little lightning bolt's gonna stop him. This looks like a jump that the barbarian, especially the elf, could leap across. These guys, not so much, but something tells me they are not so great anyway. And now we have a look at the reverse side, the underside, the flip side, I don't know, the back of the box, whatever you want to call it. But here's a nice little full-color photograph of what is inside the box. And then you have the flavor text on the back. Gather quickly, my heroes, for Morcar is about to unleash his ultimate scheme. He has called upon the land's mightiest sorcerers for one purpose, to destroy you. Even as I speak, Morcar seeks to overcome me with his magic. As ever, it falls to you and those who you can gather around you to seek out these sorcerers, vanquish them before they can destroy you with their evil chaos sorceries. Yeah, I'm going to drop doing the voice and just speak with myself. A little bit of too much nerdiness. But inside this box, you have 16 finely detailed Citadel miniatures, featuring 4 new evil sorcerers, 12 men-at-arms figures, and 24 weapons. 1 quest book containing new rules and 5 new quests, 1 die-cut sheet including a bunch of stuff, and 24 evil sorcerer spell cards, 9 new wizard and elf spell cards, 23 men-at-arm cards, and 8 new treasure cards. So you've got quite a bit of content for your HeroQuest game in this box. And now we'll take a look at the back of the Avalon Hill version. Photograph of what's inside the box, a little bit less clear than the Milton Bradley version, but still, it's there. And then you have Lore Tome has foreseen the alliance of the realm's most powerful wizards, all of whom have agreed to do Zargon's dark bidding. This time, Zargon seeks the legendary magic of 1,000 dread sorcerers locked away in the high altar of the northern dread wastes. If Zargon gets his hands on this power, all will be lost. He will be unstoppable. So, you've got some more quests, and then Avalon Hill bringing the beef with some miniatures. Chock full of miniatures in this box. 27 finely detailed miniatures. 64 game cards, cardboard tile sheet, and quest book. So now, let's get to the good parts, the inside of the boxes, doing a side-by-side comparison of the content. Now, my box does not lift off the top. Everything is just kind of in here, so it's not going to be as smooth as just lifting and looking. First out of the box is an advertisement for more HeroQuest action. The quest continues. Of course it does, because more money spent on your game equals more fun. And then a example of painted and unpainted. And on the reverse side is Space Crusade, something I didn't know about, but now I want. Whoops. And apparently the Crusade also continues, so don't look any further or I will be throwing money into a black hole. Inside the Avalon Hill box is no insert, because Avalon Hill, you already spent money on this, what more do you want? Just look at what you already got and stop looking at what's next. Now, this is probably not the norm, but mine had 2 of the booklets inside, and they're both in English, but this one has higher printing quality for some reason. The pictures just look better on it. This one's like more of a faded, papery look. Anyway, inside this book, though, you've got your introduction to the game, you've got your assembly instructions, new magic, you got some really great artwork on the inside, the men-at-arms, how they work. Again, more awesome drawings and stuff. Then you have the actual quests and references to the contents of the game in here. And, of course, more cool artwork. And this one is black and white on the inside, no color. This one here has what I'm used to, the more brownish, sepia-looking. Doesn't really show up on the camera, so what's the point of showing you again? But, again, monotone. And then we have the Avalon Hill one, which is a full color guide, and it has the alchemist shop, the miniatures, no assembly required, they're molded, and then what the new terrain is, some artwork on the inside, references to the new cards, the wizard, and this orc. I think it's the barbarian. I think it's no, I don't know. Don't just guess. Just look at it. Anyway, then you have your quests, artwork, and other buildings, a map, and stuff like that. Now, the first piece of content in the Wizards of Morcar Milton Bradley is the Magic Reference Chart card with blank back. This is just a handy, exactly what it says it is, reference to the effects and traps of this new expansion. The Avalon Hill version does not have this. And then you've got your 3 magical barrier pieces, which in the Milton Bradley version slot into these little 3D molded bases. I guess they look like little fires or sticks or something. I don't know. But I also had a 4th one. I'm not sure if that's common for this expansion because I had to order this from overseas and I did not know the contents of it. So now I had to go through the rulebook and just match up what I had. So I possibly have extra parts. Avalon Hill took those magic barriers and said, let's go 3D. Now, I'm just guessing here, but they have various tiles after the stone, fire, and ice magical barriers. You have an earthquake tile. Shown here is the Avalon Hill version of this earthquake tile. The lightning bolt tile. And the lightning bolt tile. 4 breached wall tiles. 4 breached wall tiles. Got the Cloak of Shadows tile, and I believe 6 blocked square markers, or they're Cloaks of Shadow as well? I'm not sure. Either way, you got your Cloak of Shadows, and it calls these Cloak of Shadows tiles in the Avalon Hill version. But that is not listed on the contents of this one. I just see 6 blocked square markers. 4 Fireburst tokens that look like the Wizards are having a Jubilee celebration of some kind because these look like fireworks. There we go. Avalon Hill's like, I got you, Fireburst. So these ones look a little more explosive. This has to be the 6 blocked square tokens because that's just rubble piles. And now exclusive to the Avalon Hill version, we have 4 tunnel tiles. Then a double-sided tile called the Altar, or Heart Coffer. And then you have a key tile, gold, with silver on the opposite side. Then you got these skulls. And the Avalon Hill also comes with a special tile, the Artificer's Laboratory tile. Which on the reverse side is what I said did not come in the Avalon Hill version, the magic reference chart. Improvised videos often turn out bad. And then you've got this in the Avalon Hill version. You got a town of, looks like Hopkins Keep. Either that or that's just, nope, that's what that location is called. Did I not just learn from what I just did? And then you've got artwork on the back here. Now, just taking a moment to see where that tile actually falls in place, you have the final quest in the original one, which is the final conflict. You have the final conflict in the Avalon Hill version, but boom, you have the Altar of the Dread Shrine. There it is. Peek all the secrets, so if you're playing, you know everything that's coming. And then there are 24 evil sorcerer spell cards. I will not be going through all of these because if you're playing this and you see this video, this will spoil everything that the, I guess, game master is going to throw at you. So first we have the High Mage spells, and here's an example, Wall of Flame. I usually show all the artwork, so I'll be able to do that, but not zoom in on the text so you don't know what's going to happen. So here is the backside of the Avalon Hill version of the High Mage spells, and the artwork comparison for Wall of Flame. You've got Strands of Binding, Rust. Then you have Madness, which I guess is Possess in the Avalon Hill version. Then you have the artwork for Escape. And then you have Dispel, which has become Unlearn in the Avalon Hill version. You must unlearn what you have learned. And here's a comparison of the miniatures. You've got the Milton Bradley on the left, Avalon Hill on the right. The High Mage is Zanrath. So, a little bit smaller in the olden days. And the Milton Bradley ones are molded in black, whereas the Avalon Hill ones are molded in a dark gray. Molded? They're colored like that. I guess they're molded in that color of plastic. I'll get there eventually. And now we will do a comparison of the Storm Master. This Baldy is so lame that on his own cards in the original set, he's got the High Mage in his artwork. Anyway, we have Lightning Bolt, which is Lightning Strike. Artwork for Wall of Ice. Blinding Sleet. Thieving Wind. Yeah, take the shield from the wizard. He's already weak enough. The shield wouldn't likely help him anyway. Then you have Earthquake. This guy looks like he's climbing down in. Doesn't look like he's falling. This guy seems to be in a little more peril. Then you've got Hurricane, as they would say, as I was listening to a Joe Abercrombie book. But Hurricane is the other spell. Then we have Borush the Storm Master. And although from the back he looks like he has antlers, 'tis just his beard blasting in his magical wind. And now a comparison of the major change from Milton Bradley and Avalon Hill, an Orc Shaman to a Warcaster. The first spell being Orc Berserker. Sharpen Blades, Shield of Protection, Spirit of Vengeance, Summon Goblins versus Call Goblins, and then Summon Orcs versus Call Orcs. This guy looks none too pleased to be forced to fight heroes. The Orc Shaman is Grashak or Grashak, and the Warcaster is Nyashak or Nyashak, however you want to pronounce it. And now to take a look at the dastardly Necromancer. You have Summon Mummy. And then we have Skulls of Doom, which reminds me of the wizard Skullrick from the game Gemfire. You have Raise the Dead, Fear, Death Bolt, and Call Skeletons. And that is Fanrax, the Necromancer. Now, in the Avalon Hill version, there's a 5th Wizard of Morcar. I don't know if it's a good character or a bad character because I did not read ahead, but there are spells for it, so we'll take a look at the artwork of the Artificer. And this probably answers my question on if she is good or bad right away. Beseech Dread Powers. Scrolls of Morcar. I like those wailing spirits in the background. Hammer of Ruin. Ruin has come to our family. Leech Life. Yeah, this character is not good. Evil. Evil. Conjure Golem. And Summon Dreadshifter. I really like that the mimic-like creature has feet. You never see that. That's great. And her name is Keeper. So you've got Stormmaster Baruch, Warcaster Neashak, Goblin Shaman Grashak, Necromancer Fanrax, High Mage Zanrath, and Artificer Keeper, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then there are 9 new spell cards for the Elf and the Wizard. There is a reference for the female wizard in the Avalon Hill box. We'll take a look at her miniature in a moment. So first off, here's the artwork for the Spells of Darkness. Cloak of Shadows artwork. Hard to get an angle on these without a reflection. Chains of Darkness. Shine. And Arrows of the Night. Now we'll take a look at the Spells of Detection. Not a fan of that art. Treasure Hoard. Future Sight. And Clairvoyance. I actually prefer this artwork a little more than this one because this guy looks like he's taking a bite out of his crystal ball. The Jawbreaker of Foresight. And now we'll take a look at the Spells of Protection. AKA the spells Derek has the least amount of interest in. Offensive or Bust. Wall of Stone. Invisibility. Those guys can't see that. And Dispel or Unlearn. Now the Milton Bradley version has 23 Men-at-Arms cards. And this one, I believe, only has 6 Mercenary cards. Or 4. 4 if you actually spend the time to count. I don't have any of the Men-at-Arms assembled and glued, so you're just going to have to see how they look with the pieces loosely fit into the proper spots. But first, we will take a look at the Swordsman, which I believe this is how the Swordsman is assembled. But here is the Avalon Hill Swordsman. Tilter so you can see the finely detailed miniature. Then we have the Scout. You're looking a little unhealthy there. Then we have the Halberdier, which I prefer this guy's style of Halberdier to this thing. This looks more like a scythe or an axe or something. I know it's a Halberdier, but I don't like the crescent blade. Personal taste, though. And finally, we have the Crossbowman. Ugh, did not learn my lesson. Now the question is this a different Men-at-Arms that I've just switched the weapons each time? Or is it the same miniature and I just switched the weapons? You'll never know. Now there's also purple and red variants in the miniatures of the Avalon Hill version of the Mercenaries. So I think it's just to keep track of which is which. Then the Milton Bradley version has 8 treasure cards. My Avalon Hill version had 9. Let's take a look, see what they are. And again, so as not to spoil what you may face in the game, just the art and the name of the card. Magical Trap. And there are multiple copies of some of these, so if the count is off, that's why. Poison. So far, these don't seem like treasures. So I guess mild spoilers, there's traps and bad things. Potion of Alchemy. Potion of Charm. Blow Pop from Charms. Potion of Magical Aptitude. Potion of Magic Resistance. And there's also another Potion of Magic Resistance. There's only one copy of the Potion of Magic Resistance in the Avalon Hill, but there is another in there. Instead, Avalon Hill has Potion of Fire Resistance. And then the 9th treasure card, which I won't spoil, but you'll probably discover it on your own, or look at it anyway, because what this card is exactly what the treasure is. That makes sense if you know what the card is. The Avalon Hill version of the game adds 2 artifacts. The Drakehide Cuirass, and Erden the Unmaker. I have 5 Boon of Heroism cards. Peacekeeper. Hold the Line. Healing Hands. Weapon Expert. And Deadeye. Dan. HeroScape. Deadeye Dan. And speaking of HeroScape, because I do like a size comparison, here is a HeroScape miniature compared to the Avalon Hill produced HeroQuest miniatures and Milton Bradley produced HeroQuest miniatures. So a little bit of a size comparison for you. And that was also a look at the aforementioned female wizard miniature that comes in the Wizards of Morcar box. Then the Avalon Hill version also comes with 4 reference cards. We have a Sir Ragnar, the Dread Shifter, which has his little feet, these awesome golem figures, and again, just compared to some HeroQuest and HeroScape miniatures. So you can see there's the Iron Golem from HeroScape and Zenithrax, the Vine Weaver from HeroScape. So you can see how big these HeroQuest miniatures are. I also realized how bent one of my Iron Golem's scimitars is. And I can't believe my eyes, a Minotaur. So that's a really cool miniature. And finally, I don't know what this looked like when it was new, but there's nothing in here to like organize anything. But then again, older games really didn't have too much of that, if I can remember correctly. The Avalon Hill version has nice trays and space for everything and stores quite nicely. And that was a look inside the Wizards of Morcar expansion for the HeroQuest game system. With Avalon Hill releasing Wizards of Morcar in 2026, I believe that this is everything for HeroQuest proper that has been released, now re-released by Avalon Hill. And I might be wrong here, there might have been some tweaks or general changes to things, but I believe everything that comes in these boxes is compatible with the old game system. Obviously, card sizes, quality, and everything is going to be a little different, but rules-wise, I think the monsters and everything could be interchangeable. So I am very happy that Avalon Hill was able to release this expansion with just a little more to keep it going and get it a little bit more exciting to get. So I'm glad everybody can finally enjoy Wizards of Morcar. So check it out if you're interested.